This video is a response to Minnesota Congresswoman Michele Bachmann, who spoke at the CPAC conference recently and discussed the Arizona legislation that was vetoed by Governor Jan Brewer in the news quite prominently recently. So the complaint, let's say, that was made by Representative Bachmann was that she's tired of gays bullying America. And I thought that that was a very interesting statement, perhaps a different viewpoint on the issue, and that we should actually explore that a little bit and find out what's going on. So it seems what it is a fantasy of victimization, as if perhaps Mrs. Bachmann was imagining that she herself is the victim of some sort of persecution, when actually that might not be the case. So let's see if we can make a determination. There have been, in the last 20 years, at least 32 cases in which organizations, predominantly Christian groups, have sponsored legislation that took legal rights away from gay couples. At the same time, the number of states in which gays sponsored measures that would take rights away from Christians was 0. Now, the bill in question, the bill in Arizona that Mrs. Bachmann wishes Governor Brewer had not vetoed, is a bill that was written by people who apparently were afraid to say what they really had on their mind, because it does not say anything in the bill at all about gay people, and yet everyone discussing this bill on the news and on political commentary shows freely said that it was an issue around gay rights. So if the real intention of the legislation was to limit the rights of gay people, why wouldn't the authors of that legislation directly and succinctly say so in the bill that they sponsored? Could it be perhaps that they are both cowardly and deceitful? Okay, so let's talk about unintended consequences for a minute. The bill, as it was written, the one that Governor Brewer vetoed in Arizona, would have allowed any person with deeply held religious beliefs to deny services to any other person based on their religious beliefs. Now, how does a court of law determine what the religious beliefs of a person are? The only way you're going to be able to do that is to ask that person and listen to what they say. There's no other context in which religious beliefs can be measured on an individual basis. So therefore, any person at all in the state of Arizona would have been enabled by this law to deny any kind of service they might otherwise be offering to the general public and claim that they have a religious belief that forbids them from serving the person denied. An example would be a gay shop owner, maybe an antiques dealer if you like stereotypes, or could be perhaps a hairdresser who owns his own shop and happens to be gay. That could happen. Such a person could deny a Republican service and say, my faith believes that people should not attack countries based on a pack of lies, and I refuse to serve Republicans. It's hard to say how far the unintended consequences of that law could have gone. But let's take the exact case that it was intended to care for, okay? The serious threat of a gay couple attempting to buy a wedding cake. It has happened, so it's not an imaginary thing. There actually have been gay couples who have gone to public bakeries open to the entire general public and expected that they should be given a wedding cake if they were willing to pay for it. Now, there are laws in very many states, not Arizona, but very many other states, that say you may not deny a person public accommodations based on their various demographic memberships, such as if they are male or female and you decide to discriminate against their gender, or if they belong to a specific ethnic group and you decide to discriminate against those people. It's illegal. And in many such states, those laws have been extended to cover people who have a specific sexual orientation and to give them the same protections as other people have under the law. That's what we call equal rights. And also, under existing state laws, in virtually every state, there are laws that say there are some people you have to serve if you have a business open to the public. For example, it's no longer legal in the United States to deny a customer who wants to sit at a lunch counter the right to sit there because they're black. Of course it should be illegal to do that. Everyone in our society says it should be illegal to do that, except the people that we don't want in our society. So, what you need to learn, Mrs. Bachmann, is that people in our society change their views over time. And people have, in the last 20 years, changed their views about gay people. And they're starting to believe that a gay couple should have exactly the same rights under the law as any other couple. And as a matter of fact, the people who disagree with that are outnumbered by the people who agree. So, I think in the interest of national unity, in the interest of all of us, once again being able to feel like we're part of the same country and we're all working together, I think we all, every single one of us, need to make a commitment to respect the rights of every citizen and to treat every citizen in our country with equal justice under the law. And I challenge you, Mrs. Bachmann, to adopt that point of view and to promote that point of view and to say to yourself and to your husband and to everybody else that you meet that everybody should be entitled to the same protection under the law. If that's a difficult adjustment for you, I'm sorry, maybe you could try prayer.